For today's video, I'm going to show my child the toys that I played with as a child, or my childhood toys, and just kind of the memories I have with cousins. I've shared the tree fort, forts that I remember anyways, but that bin of little Legos up there, it's just these little tiny things that we had, like, you had to be a certain age to get to those, and there had to be like no younger kids around type of thing, just because of how little they are. And then that farming game, nobody really knew how to play it, so we would just make up our own rules. We always had a puzzle going. I mean, we had a Lazy Susan that we would do the puzzles on too, and we would, well, anyways, we just had a puzzle always going, and the puzzles would always be mixed up, or they'd be missing a piece somewhere, so you would have to come check in this little bin here, which has like game pieces, dominoes, marbles, die, and apparently now, go ahead. Another thing, none of us knew how to play dominoes, so we'd set them up and knock them over. Then we have like these puzzle boards that I remember everyone was trying to kind of mix and match there. The memory game there, the Talking Bob the Builder book. Then the games that the box is always never held up. This one is the Chutes and Ladders board with a Candyland guy stuck in there. And rescue. He's wedged in there. I'll just put him in there. So we've got the Chutes and Ladders game. These spirograph things. I don't know what to call them. We had these foam shapes that you would stick. You'd pick a template or whatever, put in here. And pull one out like this one. You would just take one and you would put all the shapes on there. And someone else always had the shape that you wanted and the color you wanted. And then chess that nobody knew how to play, so we made up our own things. Candyland. And once again, if you couldn't find things, check there or in there. And then you have, oh, there's the box for Chutes and Ladders. And then Monopoly, that hardly anybody wanted to play, just because it went on and on and on. These little small, like the bean bags here, there was hardly ever the bean bags were right, you know, when you wanted them, because we'd throw them at each other, and they were hardly ever there. And then this Teletubby, people would stick their fingers in the back of their legs, and they'd try and, oh, I'm coming to get you type of thing, and we'd had relatives that would make fun of them. This guy that we could never figure out what he was, and then this cute little moose, and then there's just a bunch of little stuffed animals in there, small ones, little dogs in there. This guy, I remember, this is one that we'd throw at each other, and you'd take the string, and you just do that, and then the string would break on you. Or when you'd throw this, you'd if you're trying to hurt the person, I guess in a sense, you'd try and beat them with one of these parts on it, instead of beating them with this part. We just have little small dinosaurs, Tigger, Pooh is in there, this guy off of Bug's Life, and then once again, this wasn't there from my childhood, and neither was that. This was another, you know, if you were missing something, it was in there usually. The Darth Vader helmet was not there in my childhood. That's something that's new. And we always knew that something else would be mixed up with something else. These little wooden vehicles were there. And they were used and abused. Like the plane, he's missing part of his wings and his propeller. And I think he had some tires. I don't know. Or there's this little police car. A lot of these little vehicles or these little animal guys, it ended up in the sandbox. And we're just barely finding them again. These farm toys weren't there. These cars were not there. They're new. But this car was in there. Once again, I don't think there's any balls in there. Oh, yep. There's a few balls in there. And we'd throw those at each other a lot. And I think we tested out these balls here. Say splash bombs. So we'd try out throwing them with water. And I don't think it ever worked out. That thing, the shapes seem to never be in here at all. They'd be with the building, the blocks. These pieces where you could take and build your own tractor out of. I remember the many creations out of there. This is before you had iPads and iPods and things like that. So there's these little cabs that you could play with. There's wheels that you could hook on. These little, would you call it like a trailer type of thing in there. The giant Legos in there, and a lot of them you try and, stick together, but they wouldn't really go together. Because you try and stick something like these ones with something like this, and it never would work. And they weren't as cool as the little Legos. And then this little box here, you got this little, I don't know if it's a radio, is it like a walkie-talkie or something? I don't know. Or a radio. There's that. The cab to this got destroyed recently. Here's the Flying J truck, or trailer, and his truck. This thing, you'd throw it, but you couldn't get very far. This thing's new, and that's new. This thing here, it was supposed to be Pooh's house. There's some Pooh figurines around here somewhere. That's the key, is they're somewhere. The jump rope that's like, I still try and do, but it's way too little for me. This doll whose her hair just needs to be. That's how old she is, you guys. Her hair is ratted. The rubber band that held her hair is like gone. That's somewhere. We have two toy phones, that one and that one. You'd sit there and you'd call, you'd sit on the opposite sides of the room and call each other. Or you'd pretend to call mom and dad. And then these shoes have dealt with abuse. In here. Should be a flat. There it is. This pair that dealt with abuse as well. There have been and Pooh, who is missing his nose. And this thing is new. But anyways, this whole area, we would have this whole area here, over into here, and into there, just covered with toys, and they would even be strung out through there, and up the stairs elsewhere. So, and then there was another thing that we do is we'd have people stand behind this blanket or wall hanging thing. They'd stand behind there, and then they would kind of like, we'd see how many we could fit behind there, in a sense. And then you would jump off of there onto the couch, and then from the couch to the floor. So, but anyways, that's some of the things that I played with as a child, or did as a child, for you. I made a mess as I was doing that. Knocked down the ball. And these little... This fell out of the spirograph thing. I just introduced a sibling and a cousin to these, and they like them. So that was fun. But anyways, once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.